This time on AMT Racing Garage, we are going to dive into a relatively inexpensive form of racing, dirt track flat kart racing. So this is a flat kart. This is one of your cheaper options to get into motorsports. They run these on both dirt and pavement in different parts of the country. I have personally run on both, although it is currently set up to race on dirt. The dirt tracks range from 1/10 of a mile inside roping arenas to 1/5 of a mile. And asphalt tracks are generally about the same, but on some occasions you'll get to run bigger tracks, such as this one. I have raced this one on the 3/8 mile paved speedway in Bolivar, Missouri. We run an average of about 75-80 miles an hour around a big track with that. As I previously mentioned, this is one of the budget options for a flat kart. This is a 2004 Godfather chassis, and we run the box stock Harbor Freight Predator 6.5 horse engines. Literally almost nothing to these. They're as simple as can be. Pull start, centrifugal clutch. You change gearing by changing sprockets like you would on a bicycle or a motorcycle. So what we're actually getting ready to do here is I'm going to change the drive sprocket on this kart. It's currently set up to run a little 1/10 of a mile track. Last time I raced it was back in May or the 1st of June, I believe, and we ran at Riverside Raceway in East Bernard, Texas. Ended up doing pretty decent there. They have a treaded tire rule, and as you can tell, I run slicks because up in Missouri that's all we run. So I ran the open class with a stock Predator engine and ran 5th out of 9 karts. So I'll take that any day. And we are currently gearing it up to go race the 8th mile kart track in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, Acadiana Speedway. So now, as you can see, we have the seat off, the clutch is off, and I'm about to take the rear sprocket off. Now, what we're changing on the clutch, I'll start with the fact that these are all stock style Harbor Freight drum clutches. As you can see, this one's seen some action. It's a little bit scored. This is actually a spare clutch that I've had, and I've only used it once. And by the looks of this one, I'll buy me another spare here soon. But what we're changing is the drive sprocket. The one on the right hand side is the one that I just took off of here, and the one on the left is the one I'm putting on there. One is 12 teeth, the other one is 16 tooth. The smaller your driver is, the quicker acceleration you have with the less top end. So obviously, going from a 1/10 of a mile track to an 8th mile track, you need a little bit more speed on the top end. And I'm going to change the rear sprocket from a 62 to a 65 to kind of counteract it. The only thing that's really finicky about the Predator engines is that they only turn about 6,000 RPM, so gearing is crucial. So this is the Acadiana Speedway in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. Been here a couple hours. Been battling the rain. They're out here regrading the track to see if we can get our event in tonight. If everything goes well, myself and Joey and David Smith, who I rode here with, Team 5150 Racing out of LaPorte, Texas, we're all three in the Predator Super Heavy division. And according to their sign-up sheet, there's currently 8 of us in the class. So hopefully we can get the track dried out, and we'll see how everything goes. racing, you have good nights and bad nights. And unfortunately, we just had us a bad night. Can't see real well. Engine cover's backed down quite a bit. And that becomes an issue because that is rock solid. So, first time at Louisiana Raceway, and we made it through hot laps, kind of. You'll hear it on the video. You might even see the oil on the track when the engine started going away, but it locked solid coming off the track. Alright, so I just wanted to do a quick recap from last night. I didn't get back till almost 2 o'clock this morning, and I was basically a zombie and there was no point in trying to do this. So yesterday didn't quite go as planned. I drove all the way to Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, went and raced at Acadiana Speedway. It was the first time I've ever raced at that particular track. I've been there once to help out Joey and David Smith, who I want to say thank you to for hauling my literal junk to the track and back. But what ended up happening was the side cover bolts on my Predator engine have a tendency to back out, and we've tried Loctiting them, tried finding ways to fix that, and unfortunately we tightened them up, and within 5 laps they came out again. And you might be able to see on the video some of the oil going into turn 3 and eventually the sound of the engine going away. And I remember going into the turn 3, looking at the oil, and said, wow, I really feel bad for that guy. And I came back around again, and the engine started going away, and I was like, oh crap, it's me. As with all forms of motorsports, you're going to have good and bad nights, and up until last night, I had really never had a bad night in a kart before. So it's bound to happen eventually. The good news is, going back to the fact that it's a budget class, is that for at most $125 I can have a new Predator engine to put in the kart. We just take the top plate, carburetor, the header, all that stuff off of it and put it on a new engine, and it'll be ready to go again. But I think what I'm going to end up doing in the meantime is I have a Briggs & Stratton 5 horsepower engine, runs on alcohol, that I'm going to put on it and run an open class for a little while, just as an excuse to use it. So I'd really like to put out a special thanks to Joey and David Smith, Team 5150 Racing out of LaPorte, Texas, for hauling my literal garbage all the way to and from the racetrack, and to the staff and the owners of Acadiana Speedway for putting in the time and effort and fighting the rain to give us a place to race yesterday. And I want to thank you for watching. Do me a favor, if you enjoy these videos, leave a like, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I hope to see you again in the next one.